It was the doink heard around the world. Kansas City scrapes out another win and improves to 12-1 on the season. The only other team with 12 wins are the Detroit Lions, who lead the NFC. Now, although the records are the same, experts say that these two teams are vastly different. Power rankings coming out today further proving that point. It looks like the Chiefs aren't getting any roses for these close wins. We're going to discuss why now. What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Tuesday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. As we await another check-in with the team on Wednesday, let us break down the latest power rankings and hear from some experts from around the league. Are the Chiefs great, or are they just getting by? Let's talk through it, but first, give us a like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get into it. All right, Tuesday, the power rankings are out per usual. Since the Chiefs don't have any media availability on Tuesday when they are playing on a Sunday game, we've got a little bit of time to dive into these reports. So although it was another close one, the reigning Super Bowl champs got the respect that they were due in the rankings. Kinda. With a 2-win lead in the AFC, Kansas City ranks second and third amongst most major power ranking polls. Now, The Athletic is the outlier who places Kansas City even outside of the top 5 at number 6. Tucker, I need you to get Nate Taylor on the line ASAP. CBS Sports ranks the Chiefs as number 2, saying that winning close games will get them ready for the playoffs, which this group knows a lot about. Fox Sports puts the champs at number 4. Now, Bleacher Report says Kansas City is the third best in the league, behind the Eagles and Detroit. They say the Kansas City Chiefs just keep finding a way. If there's a way, the Chiefs will find it, exploit it, and win. This year's Chiefs simply aren't as good as the last 2 years when the franchise became back-to-back Super Bowl champs. Now, in some ways, the current squad feels closer to that one game that came up short against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Super Bowl 55. How dare they bring that up? However, the current Chiefs don't get rattled, and they're peaking in the clutch. That is true. Sports Illustrated is on the same page as Bleacher Report, keeping the Chiefs at number 3, saying that there's fewer options to bail out Mahomes anymore from a receiving perspective, and we're seeing him forced to evolve yet again. Now, NFL.com is staying on the trend, ranking the Chiefs third as well, agreeing with the others, saying it ain't pretty, but it works. They're turning this late-game winning thing into a strange art. NFL.com's article writes that the victory was orchestrated, not handed to them. That's why this one felt a little bit different than the others as of late. Yes, it required Kansas City doing what it typically does in a high-leverage situation, but this was more of a formula that the back-to-back champions dictated, rather than needing to rewrite the script with the latest absurd plot twist in the final moments. Now, the 33rd team put the Chiefs all the way up at number 2, which is where they sat last week as well for the same outlet. The Kansas City Chiefs might never have a dominant win again, but they just keep on winning and have now clinched the AFC West for the 9th straight season. Now, with the Bills falling in Week 14, the Chiefs' odds of earning the number 1 seed have greatly increased. It sure feels like the road to the Super Bowl will go through Kansas City again this season. ESPN agrees with the number 2 spot as well, bringing them up from number 3 last week. ESPN shared our friend Adam Teicher's most shocking Chiefs statistical ranking this season. He says the Chiefs sack opposing quarterbacks on just 5.5% of dropbacks and put pressure on them on just 32% of the time, which is the 22nd ranking in the league. Now, defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo's defense is still blitzing 36.5% of the time, which is the 3rd highest mark, but it is far from the dominant pass rushing team it was last season when the Chiefs led the NFL in sack percentage at 8.8%. Now, Yahoo Sports released an article today around the power rankings, subtitling it, "With so many close games, how good are the Chiefs?" Frank Schwab writes, as this NFL season moves on, we're getting closer to the possibility of the Chiefs going 16-1 or 15-2 in the regular season and winning a 3rd straight Super Bowl. They have a 2-game lead for the number 1 seed in the AFC, and if they have just 2 home games between them and the Super Bowl, it will be hard to stop them. And we rank a Chiefs team like that as one of the greatest ever. But remember what you think about the Chiefs right now. Kansas City has won an incredible 15 straight one-score games. They've won due to a tight end's toes being out of bounds in the end zone, a defensive pass interference on 4th and 16, a missed pass interference call in the end zone, a Buccaneers coach, Todd Bowles, not going for 2 in the win, a blocked field goal, a last-minute drive after falling behind to a 3-10 Panthers team, a botched snap by the 2-11 Raiders when they were in field goal range to win, and then doinked in field goal that we all saw, of course, on Sunday night. Now, the Chiefs' plus 56-point differential is not only the worst of any NFL team that is 12-1 or better in NFL history, it's the worst by 33 points, according to Brett Coleman of the Film Room. They also rank 8th in DVOA behind the 6-7 49ers. So what do you think, Chiefs Kingdom? With all the experts around saying that the team is winning horribly, does it really even matter? At the end of the season, if the Chiefs are holding up the Lombardi, making history as the only NFL team to ever three-peat, doesn't matter how they got there. Let me know in the comments below what you think. All right, enough of me blabbing. Let me get you some videos from around the league. Peter Schrager shared his thoughts on why the Chiefs always find ways to win.
I look at the Chiefs and I'm like, at some point, it's not a coincidence. It's not some lucky feather. It's not some, rabbit's foot that's doing this. They win these games because they know how to win games, and they've got great experience winning games, and they've been in these big spots. All due respect to a lot of those Chargers players, they haven't played in big games in the NFL before. This is the biggest game of many of their careers. And when they needed to make a stop, they couldn't. And it's just simply that. And that's what it's been the last, 8 weeks for the Chiefs. Whether it was a win over the Panthers by 3 points or a win over the Raiders on Black Friday, it's not pretty. It's not going to be the stuff that we start to show off doing flips about Mahomes like we used to with no-look passes. And yet you look at the record, they're as good as they've ever been in a season. They're 12-1 right now. And they keep on just knocking off division opponents. They haven't lost in the division yet. They've already clinched the division title. Pretty impressive.
Rich Eisen also added in his thoughts as well, saying the Chiefs draw a lot of comparisons to a once very hated team.
Who had the team that constantly, every time you thought they had them, were situationally brilliant in coming up with the win because all they needed to do, despite the ups and downs of a game, even with tons of downs, all they had to do was just come up with that one first down. Like, say, when the whole world knew their generationally brilliant quarterback, who everyone was drooling all over, was going to hit their generationally brilliant tight end, who's going to be in the Hall of Fame wearing number 87. Who did that? All the time, over and over and over and over again. And the only difference between this team and those Patriots was the fact that the quarterback and the coach weren't on TV all the time saying the word bundle Ruski. That's the only difference right now. That's it.
ESPN's Adam Schefter also joined in on the conversation this morning, saying Chiefs have defied all of the odds.
Do you realize this season that the Kansas City Chiefs in their past 7 games are 0-7 against the spread? 0-7 against the spread. No team ever has gone on to win the Super Bowl in the same season it had a 6-game against the spread losing streak. The Chiefs have won 8 straight games this season in which they did not cover the spread, tied for the most in a single season since the 1970 merger. And I will say this, for almost 16 years, I covered the Denver Broncos. And there were any number of games and years in which they were down and out. And then, in the final 2 minutes, John Elway came along and rallied them to victory against all odds. It happened time and time again. It happened almost regularly. And it is almost the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. You may think you have him beaten. He may not be capable of covering against the spread. They may be down to their last breath. But until that breath is taken, they are not done. They are the champs. They have won 2 straight Super Bowls. They have won 9 straight division titles. They are in first place in the AFC, currently holding the number 1 seed with a 12-1 record. Yeah, they're vulnerable. Yes, you can beat them, but somebody still has to go do it.
All right, let's wrap up today's show with some facts that you need to know. This is Rapid Fire Edition from Twitter. Mac McMullen tweeting out, shout out to Xavier Worthy, who made 2 gigantic plays Sunday night that might get lost in the box score. An 11-yard catch on 3rd and 7 that eventually led to DeAndre Hopkins' touchdown, and a 14-yard catch on 3rd and 10 that kept the game-winning drive alive. And Front Office Sports tweets out that the Chiefs are the first team in NFL history to have 3 different kickers hit a walk-off game-winning field goal in the same season. Of course, we all know Harrison Butker, Spencer Schrader, and now Matthew Wright. All right, last one for today. The Chiefs have not committed an offensive turnover in their past 3 games. The last time the Chiefs went 3 straight games without an offensive turnover was in weeks 16 through 18 of the 2021 football season. Alrighty, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. As always, we'll be back again tomorrow. That's when we're going to check in with the team next on Wednesday. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Like and subscribe again right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and have a great rest of your day.